Alright guys, so it's going to be a pretty short video, but I'm going to go ahead and clean up the engine a little bit on the M45 just because I have the motor out. There was a bunch of like gunk buildup all over the place, so I want to degrease it really quick and then use this for the electrical parts. I mean, the battery is disconnected, so I mean, there shouldn't really be a problem with just using this and spraying it everywhere. But I'm going to use this at the end just to take off anything that this kind of leaves behind because this is really strong. So it leaves like a really strong coat on there. But let's go ahead and start degreasing this thing. I'm gonna open the garage so you guys can see it a little bit. But right here you can see a bunch of like buildup all over it. So we're just gonna spray it down. See right here, all right there, all of that. But right here, this side's kind of clean. But then over here, you can see that there's a lot more buildup all over the place. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up. But let me open the garage really quick and then we'll spray it down. Alright, so I have my degreaser right here. Go ahead and just spray it. Even like right there, it got pretty dirty. Then I have my electrical parts cleaner right here. Right there, you guys can see how filthy that is. It's already taking it off. We're just gonna hit those. Maybe use a degreaser on them. But look at that too right there. All that coming off. Just filthy everywhere. See that? All full of gunk right there. So I'm gonna wipe it down a little bit. Maybe I should have purchased the heavy duty one, because you can see it's on there like just stacked with oil and grease. Yeah, even in there you can see that it's really dirty. Look how clean that looks now. Yeah, for sure this needed to be cleaned up. I know there's more electrical parts down there that go connected to the starter, so I'll clean those as well. I'm gonna let the degreaser sit there for a little bit. I'm gonna wipe it down and then go through it again. And I do actually need to replace the steering rack. I know that for sure was leaking on this side right here. Most likely I just need to replace that, and that'll stop a lot of the gunk buildup. And then also maybe the engine was leaking a little bit. You can see a lot of just buildup all over it. So it's gonna take a few wipes on it, to be honest. Like, look at this. Look at that. I most likely won't clean the steering rack because I'm gonna replace that anyway, so it's not really like a problem. But I for sure need to remove it because there's a bunch of buildup right there as well that I need to remove. So, well, it's gonna be a lot more work than I expected, but so what happens when you have a bunch of leaks all over the place. Just look at that right there too, how dirty that is. Sheesh. The top part came out a lot cleaner now than what it looked like before. But you can see a huge difference right there, and even like a little bit right there. I wiped it down, but it still has a lot. I need to remove the entire steering rack in order to get to the rest of it. But it's looking a lot better. Now you can hear right here on the side, it looks a lot cleaner. Right here it has a bunch of buildup, which I'm gonna have to go through it a few times and scrub that thing. Because right here you can see it's silver, and over here it's like black and full of gunk. So I'm gonna have to clean that up too. You can see that I took off a little bit right there, but yeah, it has a lot. So I'm gonna have to go through it a few times in order to remove that. Alright, so today's the next day. I went ahead and picked up this degreaser right here, but it honestly wasn't doing much. So I picked up this one right here, which is like a heavy duty gel. I went ahead and sprayed that so we can go ahead and clean it up. And then same thing over here, sprayed it right here. Right here it's like caked on there. So I feel like it's gonna take a few tries to remove this one. You can see that I already kind of wiped it down right there, but I'm just let it sit on there so it can eat it up, and then we'll start like cleaning up other areas. I don't know how it got so dirty like on these areas right here, but it's really bad. I might need like a scrubber or something to scrub that thing down, but everything else for the most part is pretty good. Like right there, over there you can see that it's doing its magic. It's kind of like yellowing, and then right here it's already pretty clean, so it doesn't look that bad. But I'm gonna just let it sit there, do its work. All right, so today is the next day, and right here you can see how much cleaner this thing looks. Like, it's just a night and day difference. It looks so much better. Even right here you can see that in the previous clip it had a bunch of buildup right here as well. A lot of buildup going like all the way over here. I do want to take these parts off, that way I can get in there to clean that, and then remove these like bolts right here, because it does look really dirty. Like right here looks pretty clean for the most part. And then right there we still need a few more parts right there to clean those little grooves. I did kind of sprayed over there as well, so we can clean that. For the most part, this one I wiped it down already. Looks a lot better. And the connections as well, like some of this I did get it. There was a bunch of buildup in there, but I want to clean like the brace right here, a few of the lines. There's still some buildup right there, and right here I put some on there, and it looks like it ate up all the grease. So we're gonna go through that, and then these connections right here as well, just really dirty. But there's more right there. You can see I'll most likely have to go under the car to go ahead and take those off, but that should really be it for the most part. But I think there's gonna be a little bit more under the car that we need to get. I just took off this bolt right there from there, that way I can go ahead and move it out of the way so I can clean those areas. There's quite a few bolts holding in the plate right there. There's those two right there, and there's one on the front of each side, and then these holding in the steering rack right there. So we have to remove those, and then it looks like this. I still gotta wipe this one down. I did hit it with the degreaser, and you can see that it still looks really gunky. I only wiped down like a few spots, but it's all over the place right there. So once we clean that up, that'll look for sure a lot better. And then you can see like these are all the bolts that went attached to the bottom. So there was like this one right here, I believe, and then there was those two over there, and then one more over here in the front, and that was honestly it. And these longer ones went to these holes right here to remove it. I believe it was a combination of like 17 and 19 mil nuts and bolts, so you just gotta take those off. This one right here didn't even have like a spring holding it in, it just slipped out, so that could be part of like the buildup with the grease that's in there just coming out, getting all over the place. This one looks like it was replaced, and then it was for sure leaking from this boot, because I remember when I was under the car I would see a bunch of like buildup and then a few small spots of fluid that would come out from this boot right here. I didn't see anything from this one, but I for sure saw something on this one. And usually when you see a leak from the boot, there's an internal leak somewhere in here with the seals, and it just needs to be replaced at that point. They're not really rebuildable. I did find a few online, so I'll make another video on this if you guys are interested in removing the whole steering rack. It does take some time, but it's not really hard if I'm being honest, especially with the engine out. You have a lot more space to be able to remove the rack. But yeah, just in case you guys want to take this off, for sure needs to be cleaned. You can see a bunch of buildup all over it. But yeah, I'm gonna remove a few more things, clean it up, and then I think we should honestly be good to go. And then I'll go under the car, see if there's any more that I need to go through, because I'm sure like drip down and I need to clean a few more spots. But yeah, I was anticipating this being a short video, but as you can see, it's taking a lot longer to clean this up. It takes a lot of scrubbing. I do have that scrubber that I was using, helped a lot to take off a bunch of the buildup. So you almost likely have to use one. I got lucky that I had this old one just sitting around, and some of these look like they're just black spots. It's no longer grease. And then right here, same thing, showed you guys earlier. This was all built up like all the way over here. And now you can see I got it to that point, but I still need to scrub it to take that off right there as well. And then here you can see a few spots that I missed, so we're gonna go back through there to get those. And honestly, I think that's it. Alright guys, there you go. We finished cleaning up the entire surface where everything was dirty, where there was a bunch of gunk buildup. This honestly took me about 4 hours to be able to do everything, but it came out really good in the end result. As you guys can see, like right here, I cleaned this along with this right here. Looks a lot better. Same thing over there. I took off a bunch of bolts and clips and things like these to go ahead and clean them. As you guys can see, like this one was black in the previous clip. After cleaning it, it has more of like a greenish tone to it. Same thing with these over here. These were like black. Now they're more like a yellow greenish tone as well. And the connections, I went through it with electrical cleaner because they were all really dirty. Now they look a lot better. Same thing with this one right here. Has a connection right there and another one right there. Remove those and I was able to clean this and it looks 100 times better. Same thing for these connections over here. Clean that with the entire brace holding it on. And then for this connection, the exterior part came off, so I want to go ahead and put some electrical tape around it to clean it up. I don't want the wires to get stuck or anything and mess it up. I did also clean the transmission lines right here. I went through it really quick, along with these lines for the power steering, all the way down, going over there. And they removed the hoses as well. That one was damaged from the ends right here. It wasn't coming off, so I had to go ahead and cut it right there. So I'm just gonna purchase a new line, and then I believe it's this one right here that has damage. Yeah, it's this one. So this one has damage right there. You guys can see it has a split, which was most likely causing a leak for the power steering as well. So I'm gonna replace those two lines. I'll check to see how much they are online. If not, I'll just get like some universal ones because it's nothing crazy. They're not like really bent. I should be able to buy some like regular lines just to put it on for now. But right here you can see this one was the one that was damaged. That was at the top. So this one went, I think it was something like that, going to the top to the condenser. And then this one was at the bottom, going like that. So we're gonna end up replacing those. And then I cleaned up all the lines right there. Same thing over there with the connection to the rack, and then the back pieces over there as well. So everything came out really good. Right here, this stayed black. I believe the grease or whatever was on here ate up the paint and left it like that. So that's the cleanest I could really get it, but it looks a lot better than what it looked like before. And then for the bottom part as well, there was a lot of buildup on the bottom. I went through it as well, and more over there. I technically got like everything, and then once I removed the brace, I cleaned that up right here as well. You can see that it looks a lot better. And then I removed the connections that were right here. One is still attached to the car. And then the other one is this one right here. As you can see, it has a ring on there. So when we purchased the new rack and pinion, we needed to ensure that it comes with rings so we can replace those, because most likely it won't seal up properly if you don't purchase it. But that's that. But yeah, I'll make another video on installing the rack and pinion once I pick up the new one. I'm gonna get like a remanufactured one online. They're only like 100, not 100, they're like 210 bucks, averaging to 230. And I went to AutoZone and they wanted to charge me like $700 without the core. With the core, they gave you like 95 bucks off, so it came out to like 500 and something. So that's still way too expensive. You can buy like an OEM one for that price. So I'm gonna go with the remanufactured one, and then once I get that, I'll pick up the video and show you guys exactly how I took this part off, and then this one as well. It's pretty straightforward, but just in case you guys want to see it, it'll help you guys out. I think it's the same for the M35 and M45. But yeah, everything came out really good. I'm really happy with how this came out. It does take a long time, but the end result does look a lot better, looks a lot cleaner. So once we get the engine and we decide to go ahead and throw it in here, everything will be ready and set to go. I just got to order those few parts to replace them and put in the new ones so we don't have any issues in the future. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and end the video right there. I know it was really long. I didn't expect it to take that long, but the car was really dirty, so it did take me a lot longer than really expected. But I picked up a few Hot Wheels. I got a few more. These are really sick. This one for sure is dope. It's like a VIP car. Put some dope wheels on there. Make it stancy. This is for sure going to be like one of my favorite Hot Wheels. I did pick up a few of these, so maybe I'll think about going ahead and putting some wheels on it, and I'll make a video on that as well. I can't add it up to the wall because as you guys can see, it is full. So I need to purchase something to be able to put the rest of them on there because I don't want to make any holes on the wall itself. So hopefully I can do something else about that. But as you guys see, the engine looks a lot better. The engine bay took me a really long time to be able to clean it up. A lot more than I really anticipated. Today I really spent about 4 hours cleaning it, but that was just for today. So if you think about it, the last 2 days, it took me maybe like 2 hours in addition to that. So maybe 6 hours or more in total. It does take a really long time, especially if it's this dirty, it's gonna take a really long time. But the next video is gonna be me installing the rack and pinion on the M45. I gotta order it. I did find a place that remanufactures them, so I'll be purchasing one of those. And I heard a lot of people have good reviews on that specific one. I was gonna go with the Detroit axle, but I was finding a lot of reviews that they go out within like no time at all. Especially with the engine in there, it's a little bit more difficult to be able to remove like the lines and install it in there. But I think that with the engine out, it's gonna be a lot faster and easier. So I wanna get it right the first time instead of having to revisit it later on in the future. That's gonna be in the next video. So if you guys are interested in watching that, make sure to stay tuned to the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.